The SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry, founded in 1911, is now the only institution of higher learning in the United States dedicated solely to the study of natural resources and the environment.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Improve Your World with SUNY-ESF. I'm Dave White. Science and engineering can be a little daunting for some people, but everyone seems to enjoy it when Dr. Gary Scott brings fire and explosions, literally, to reveal some of the secrets behind the printing of currency.
We have a presentation called Chemistry, Physics, and Engineering, the Secrets of Money. How many people here like money? No? Okay, well then we're done. No. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about a little thing. We're going to talk about some of the things that go into our money for counterfeiting. Prevent counterfeiting. So what this is actually going to be is we're going to talk about a little bit about engineering, what engineers do. Talk a little bit about how money is engineered to help prevent counterfeiting. Or maybe I'm going to tell you how to not counterfeit money or do it right. I'm not quite sure. But in the meantime, I'm also going to tell you a little bit about the college. You've learned a little bit about the college today, I hope. And I'll also tell you a little bit about our department and the programs that we offer in engineering. But what I want to talk about is the role of the engineer. One thing engineers do is they have to try to figure out what's happening. So for example, we're going to start right here with an example. Okay, we're going to start out very simple. What color do you see? Yellow. Yellow. Shake a little bit. All right, what's the school colors of Syracuse University? Orange. Okay, but we're not Syracuse University, we're SUNY-ESF. What do you think our school color is?
Green.
Green. So the question is, why is it changing? So now the question is, right, engineers, what do they have to do? They have to figure out what is happening. So what happened? Okay, there's something that's in there that's causing a color change. Right? How many people here have had chemistry? Okay, when do you see color changes in chemistry? pH changes. Okay, so there's a chemical reaction going on. There's actually two chemicals in here, potassium hydroxide and dextrose, sugar. And they're causing a reaction that changes the pH. As the pH changes, the color changes. Okay, in chemistry classes, what do you typically use to test for pH? What's that stuff called?
Paper taste.
The little paper things, right? What's that called? Litmus paper, right? And if it turns red, it's acidic. If it turns blue, it's basic. Well, I've got some different ones, and there's a lot of different, they're called indicators, a lot of different indicators that cause different colors. Well, as the pH changes, the color changes. So now the question is, how do I get it to change? There's a reaction going on. How do I get that reaction to go forward? Okay. Swirled it a little bit, it turned orange. But I said, that's not our school colors. Our school colors are green. So the question is, why is it changing? Okay, mixing in oxygen. Mixing in oxygen, causing the reaction changes the pH. Why does it change back when it gets done? We've used up the oxygen and we go back. So engineers discover things. They take things and they try to figure out discover how things work. Engineers also analyze and answer questions. So for example, how many people here like to watch Indianapolis race car driving? No?
No.
Anybody know what they use for fuel?
Gas.
No, they do not use gasoline. Alcohol. They actually use methanol. And I happen to bring some along. So if I were to take some methanol, put it in a bottle. Oops, spilled a little bit. Think about a car engine. Right? Think about what's going on inside the piston. What do we need? We got fuel. Compression. Well, I put a cork in it, so we got a little bit of compression. What else do we need?
Spark.
A spark. Okay. So, I call this my 50,000 volts of fun. It's called the Tesla coil. Creates a spark.
Nice.
No!
Anybody sleeping? Okay, so if we have the spark, we have the fuel, we should.
That was sweet. You again.
Okay, I said I don't do them again. You want this one? This one I'll do again. You want to see it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? That's not very exciting. Brings us to what else engineers do. Another thing engineers do is they troubleshoot and fix. They figure out what's wrong. So we got to think about it. It worked the first time. It didn't work the second time. Question is why? Yes?
You didn't have that pin on it. There's a pin.
That was just holding the ribbon on.
Oh.
That just helps me. That just helps me find them after I shoot them off. So what else? Why didn't it work again?
There's no way that
Yeah, there's still a little bit of methanol in there. You can see it in there.
Kilmer gas.
Okay. Right. We said there were three things, right? Oxygen, fuel, and the spark. Okay. Anybody want to test to see if the spark is still working?
You can.
Okay. Yeah, it's still working. Okay, so let's see. The fuel's there. The spark is there. We probably took out all the oxygen, right? And if we have to have oxygen for the reaction to occur. So what we're going to do is we got to get oxygen back in the bottle. Okay, does anybody here know CPR
I did.
on a bottle?
No.
No? Yeah. Pretty much the same. It's 30 to 2, right? Compressions, breaths. Okay, so I think we got the oxygen back in there. And now it should work. We have the fuel, put some oxygen back in, and we have the spark. That time you knew it was going to happen. What else do engineers do? They do something called scale up. What do I mean by scale up?
Make it bigger.
How do you know that?
It says it right now.
It says it right behind me. So, engineers, when we create new processes, when we create new things, we make them on a small scale in the laboratory. To get them to work industrially, we got to make them bigger. So let's see, make it bigger. Yes, bigger.
Like this.
So what are the three things we need to make it bigger?
Oxygen.
More meth.
Okay, we got the oxygen, a little more methanol.
Fuel.
Okay, so we put the oxygen in there, the fuel is in there. We just need some way to set it off, to light it. All right, well, I don't have the little bolts in there, so I'm not going to use this. We'll just have to get a little more primitive with a match.
Oh, nice.
Okay, now I warn you, don't try this at home. And
Now you're going to make me want to try it at home.
I'm just going to turn down the lights for a minute so we can see this a little better. Okay, now you guys sure you want me to do this?
Yeah.
You're sure?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do realize I'm the only one wearing safety glasses.
Yep.
Okay, and here we go.
Oh,
That was
sweet.
awesome. You have to grab one from the gym.
Okay. Making it bigger. So we got to understand how it works on a small scale before we try it on a larger scale. Okay?
Do it again.
Now, one thing engineers also do is they do design. They design new processes. So for example, let's say we're going to do a mechanical engineering example of a design. I want to design a bridge. It's going to be a very simple bridge. What I need to do is I want to build a bridge of Dixie cups. These are these little 3-ounce Dixie cups. Right? How strong are they? Not very. How many of these Dixie cups will it take so I can stand on them, just board down, and it will hold me up?
A lot.
15, 4. I know there's a better way to do it, right? We talked about what engineers do. Right? We got to scale it up, so we got to go to a small scale. So the question is, how much can one cup hold? We have a testing thing. We have a testing device. Okay, the only thing holding that top board up is the Dixie cup. The little metal spikes are not actually holding that up. They're just there so when it falls, it doesn't knock everything out. So will one of these cups hold 5 pounds?
No.
Sure.
10 pounds?
Yeah.
15 pounds?
No.
Pushing it.
It's getting.
20 pounds?
No.
No.
Yeah.
22 pounds?
Yes. It's getting there.
Okay. You were ready for a bang, weren't you? So it held about 20 to 22 pounds. So the question now is, how many cups do I need?
How much do you weigh?
Okay, good question, right? Engineers always ask questions, figure out what else, other information they need. How much do I weigh? I weigh 180 pounds.
Got this.
Okay, you got this? Okay.
9.
9, okay. And the very common engineering safety factor is 2. And this does not mean we add 2 cups. What it means is we double whatever we thought it was. Now, the other thing we would do is we'd probably test more than 1 cup, take an average and see what good. So we're going to try with 18 cups. That's our safety factor. So we'll lay out the 18 cups. This should hold. Okay, so we've successfully designed a bridge out of Dixie cups. No jump. Now, we didn't design it for jumping, right? We designed it to hold steady weight. So let's see, let's talk a little bit about money. Anybody ever see the movie National Treasure?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Yeah, right, Nicolas Cage took his Aquafina bottle, took his $100 bill. Let's see, I got a 50. Right? Held it up and found some secrets. Well, there are actually some secrets in our money. And they're there mainly to prevent counterfeiting.
Oh,
There are things about the paper. There are things built into the paper, engineered into the paper to prevent counterfeiting. There are things about the chemistry of the paper that help prevent counterfeiting. And there are some things about the printing that help prevent counterfeiting. Or hold up 2 $20 bills. Could you tell me which one was the fake?
The one on the left.
My left or your left? Right, the one on stage left. Right. If you're in the arts, this is stage left. This one's fake. Well, obviously, the Secret Service frowns upon you making them the same size. That is called counterfeiting. So by making it at least 50% bigger, it's actually a legal copy. It's also legal because it's actually a one-sided copy. So, but that's actually a pretty good $20 bill there. It's actually made on about I think it used about a $60 scanner to scan a bill. And I did print it on a $1,000 printer though, so I did use a little higher quality printer. But it actually turned out pretty good. So now the question is, if this were the same size, how could we tell this one from this one? How could we tell this one is counterfeit and this one's not?
The color on behind the president.
Okay.
They're like different colors.
Yeah, it's getting the color right. But there are things in the paper. We see Andrew Jackson here, but we don't see anything over here. How many people have ever held a $20 bill up to the light? And what do you see over here?
Face.
You see a face, right? So let's see. I'm going to do that here. I've got a little device here that will let me turn it correctly. Look in there. Okay, so we're looking at the edge of the $20 bill here. And right now we're looking at the light hitting it. We're looking at what's called incident light. Okay, we're looking at the lights hitting it and reflecting back. If we put the light behind the bill, you can see this ghostly image of Andrew Jackson over here. That's not printing. That's not printed on the bill. That's actually part of the paper. So where it's a little darker, like around his eyes and the bridge of the nose, that's actually a thick spot in the paper. And where it's lighter, that's actually a thinner spot in the paper. It's something called a watermark. And it's put in when the paper is made. Anybody know where the paper is made for our currency? That's the harder question. I should ask the easier question first. Who knows where's our money made?
Treasury, U.S. Treasury.
At the U.S. Treasury in Washington, D.C., Bureau of Printing and Engraving. They don't make the paper. The paper is made in Dalton, Massachusetts, at a paper mill called Crane and Company. It's actually the only paper mill I ever visited that has armed guards and barbed wire, and that I needed FBI clearance to get in to look at. But I was able to visit it. But what this means is, if this watermark is in the structure of the paper, when they're making paper for the money, they're not just making money paper, they're making $20 bill paper. They have to change some equipment if they're going to make $10 bill paper. If I were to take my fake $20 bill and look for that watermark, nothing. Right? You cannot copy a watermark. Somebody else mentioned something that's actually in the paper itself.
Take out the line.
The security strip, right? That is actually a plastic strip that runs through the bill. And let's right here, it's actually printed. It says 5 USA 5. That's actually, again, that's in the paper. It's put in when the paper is being made. So while the paper is being made, this strip is actually going in and being made with the paper. So again, they have to make $5 bill paper. They have to make $10 bill paper. This is the only part of the paper mill they would not show me as to how they get the security strip in. In fact, they let very few people see how they put it in, but this technology was actually partially developed at this college many years ago. You can see this one is fluorescing. It actually fluoresces a blue. It doesn't really show up blue on here. The $20 bill fluoresces green. See, the 50 fluoresces yellow. The $10 bill fluoresces in orange.
Oh, they have crooked eyes.
And you know what? The only bill that does not have any security features in the paper is the $1 bill. It does not have a watermark. It does not have a security strip. So if I were to stick that in there,
Maybe.
well, I guess you're getting some friendly advice from George Washington. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's do another experiment. See if we can remember what this one is. Okay. I'm going to need some help here. I'm going to need some volunteers to come up. Okay. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to pour. You're going to stir. We're just going to go down the line. And what we're going to do is, in between each one, we're going to count to 5. So we're going to count to 5, count to 5, count to 5. But I want to count to 5 in 4 different languages. Okay. What was that? Okay, I don't know it, but would you like to lead us? Okay, we're going to do Mohawk. Can you give us? I'm going to have you come up and stand over here, if you please. Okay. You're going to have to help me with this one. I have flashcards for many languages. I don't have Mohawk. Okay, so can you count to 5 in Mohawk for us?
Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
Oscar, Diggity, Oscar, Gaeli, Wish.
Okay, everybody got that? Okay. Any other languages?
Oneida.
Oneida. Okay, come on up.
Nice.
Other languages? Tuscarora. Okay.
Goro.
Okay, we're gonna.
No one heard you.
Okay. Can you count to 5 for us?
Ichinekti asa hita wish.
Okay. Any other languages?
Onondaga.
Onondaga. Okay. Okay.
Forgot it.
So these are all new languages. Understand what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You're stirring, right? So we're going to pour, count to 5, and stir. Okay? Ready?
Do I pour it while you stir it?
You can stir while I'm pouring. Yeah. Okay.
Oscar, Diggity, Oscar, Gaeli, Wish.
Next.
Unska, Degen, Os, Gaeli, Wis.
Next.
Ichinekti asa hita wish.
Next one.
Skara, Digni, Asa, Gaye, Wix.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, now if you want to just step right over here. Did anything happen? You step right over here. Stand right there. Okay, I'm going to ask you to count again in just a few seconds. Hoping for there to be a chemical reaction occurring. Maybe not. Where is it?
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
No.
This is the first time it has not worked for me.
Maybe she stirred it wrong.
Which way did you stir? Counterclockwise or clockwise? There we go. Okay, count again.
Oscar, Diggity, Oscar, Gaeli, Wish.
Unska, Degen, Os, Gaeli, Wis.
Nek asa hita wish.
Skara, Digni, Asa, Gaye, Wix.
There we go. Okay, thank you very much. Did a good job. Just leave the safety glass over there. Turn to your seat. So now the question is, what chemical reaction was that? That's what we started this with. I said, well, let's do this one. Okay. It's a reaction of starch and iodine. Okay, did you ever take the potato and put iodine on it? It's a very common chemical experiment in chemistry.
Is it like melt or something?
What was that?
Is it like melt or something?
No, actually, it just turns this color. So now, that's what the counterfeit detection pen is doing. That's an iodine pen. Some of you said you had chemistry. How many people here like chemistry? Yeah, you like chemistry. So you have to take some chemistry. You have to understand some things about chemical reactions. We talked about a chemical reaction here. Right? Not every chemical reaction is the same. Some chemical reactions are quite a bit different. For example, if I mix hydrogen peroxide and manganese oxide. We get a certain reaction. Take potassium permanganate and glycerol. Sometimes it reacts, sometimes it doesn't. Or if we take something called polyvinyl alcohol, there it is, now it's going. So just like up here, some of the reactions take a little longer to go. So here we have a reaction where we're taking the hydrogen peroxide and it's decomposing to water and oxygen, but it's also an exothermic reaction. It's giving off heat and it's actually boiling the water. Here we have a reaction, basically another exothermic one, causing a flame. Now, if I take something called polyvinyl alcohol and mix in a little sodium tetraborate, stir it up. Everybody likes this one, you know? It's gonna get a. There we go.
Like cell phone?
It's called a polymer. It took the polyvinyl alcohol and it basically cross-linked into a polymer. You guys ever play with slime?
Yeah.
Yep. Slime. A toy called slime, you buy it in a little thing and it's slime. No, that's exactly what it is. You want to do this one at home? The ingredients are very simple. Polyvinyl alcohol is the main component of Elmer's glue. Sodium tetraborate is a cleaning product called borax. Take a little Elmer's glue, thin it down with water. Take a little bit of the borax, mix it with water, pour it in, and you'll get this chemical reaction. So you see, you gotta learn about chemistry to know about these different chemical reactions. And of course, all of our programs are chemical engineering based, so you have to learn things about chemical engineering. You have to take a course called mass energy balances. One of my favorite courses is called thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, what does that sound like? Thermo. Heat. Dynamics. Yeah, blowing stuff up. Well, I just want to read you a little bit from my thermodynamics book. Because I really like it. Whoa. Right? Thermodynamics, a very hot topic. Okay. You also have to learn things about paper. Right? We passed around some paper. It's made from different things. All the paper has different properties, right? Some of our paper is optimized for strength. Did you ever hear the phrase, can you break a dollar bill? Well, one way we test paper is called intention. We try to pull the paper apart. Now we actually, obviously in our laboratories in Walters Hall, we have much more sophisticated equipment than what I have here. This is something I made in my basement. But I want to challenge you, okay? So challenge somebody to come up who thinks they can break a dollar bill. Come on up. That's what you get for sitting here.
Yeah.
Okay? So now here's the rules. You just grab it like this, and just slowly pull harder and harder. The only thing that's holding this, you see a lot of structure. There's a stop here, so when the bill actually breaks, it'll only open up about an inch, so it won't go flying out. Okay, but the only thing that's holding these two blocks apart is that dollar bill. So you just grab it, pull harder and harder until one of two things happen: the bill breaks, or you dislocate a shoulder. Now I will tell you, our currency is made to have high strength. It will actually go through a washing machine and come out still looking like a $1 bill. It takes about 200 pounds of force to actually break a bill that way.
I don't weigh enough.
Now I did cheat a little bit. This bill is a new uncirculated bill. It has never been folded. As soon as you put a fold in a bill, that's a weak point. It'll break at that point. Okay, so, but what you did do is you made George there a little wider face. The bill will stretch about 1/8 of an inch before it actually breaks. So you made George there a little fatter. But this is one way we test paper. It's called intention. How much force does it take to pull it apart? Another way we test paper is called burst strength. So what I have here is basically one sheet of printing and writing paper. It happens to be blue. But, okay, and you can see that there's a hole going through. I feel like a magician sometimes, See? Nothing there, nothing there. So the question is, I put the plunger on top. How much weight can I pile on that one sheet of printing and writing paper before it will break through? This is called a burst test. Again, much more sophisticated equipment in our labs. So will 5 pounds break through the paper? You guys are getting a little more wise, right? I think it's only 5, but I'm not going to say that because that's not true. 10. 15.
It's those unexpected noises or something bursting into flames that tend to keep the audience on edge and help explain how science and engineering fit into our daily lives. For more information, visit www.esf.edu/PBE. That's it for this edition of Improve Your World with SUNY-ESF. I hope you'll join us again next time.
This is part of the creative project that I assigned in general chemistry to allow students to offset their exam grades with doing things that are creative in their field. They have to investigate the chemistry beyond that.
Mike and I chose to do the picnic table because we both find an interest in construction, being construction management majors, and both like woodworking, and thought it was a great opportunity to jump a little bit into our field and find something we have some interest in.
What I did was I etched in all the different letters for the elements, and then I used a router and then carved out those shapes into the wood. So I just made like the H, so the 2 lines, and then etched it out and just cut it out perfectly.
The significance, as we wrote about in our paper, was how some of the stains into the table. We went a little bit in depth of the structure of the wood itself, some of the physical properties wood has, things along those lines, the polyurethane that we put over the top, and kind of how everything comes together to make it one final nice project.
One of the biggest things that we look at in our course is the fact that chemistry is everywhere, and so I asked them to go out and have fun with chemistry, and then to actually understand the processes, the reaction chemistry, and so on. So the gentleman who produced the table that you see behind me looked at the polyurethane process, the drying process, the chemistry behind that, the different things that are in the woods that give them different colors and their growth rates. And so I assigned a kind of an open project this year because it is the International Year of Chemistry, and it's also Centennial's year for ESF, so this makes it a nice kind of open-ended project. They could do whatever they wanted to do as long as it had chemistry and they could explain their chemistry afterwards.
What have you got there?
We got a table of cupcakes.
Oh my goodness, they smell good.
I know.
Depending on what you're looking at, basically both of them are environmentally harmful, and neither of them are necessary. We've listed a number of different kind of characteristics, ways of measuring the difference between paper and plastic use in terms of impact on the environment. If you look at the amount of energy in consumption, plastic tends to be better, it uses less energy. If you look at the amount of energy used in transport, plastic tends to be better. The amount of space in a landfill that's used up, again, plastic tends to be better. The amount of water used, plastic tends to be better. If you look at litter and how long it stays around, because you see plastic bags everywhere, clearly paper is a better option. If you're looking to the threat to marine life, paper is much better. Plastic bags tend to clog drains, which becomes a problem in terms of the toxic chemicals in the bag itself, not necessarily in the production of it. They're about equal because of the way that the paper bag is produced. And in terms of recyclability, neither of them are terrible, easily to recycle. You don't need to buy a special bag that somebody produced and is selling. They're good, they're better, the fact that you can keep using them. But I just tend to bring a couple of plastic bags with me and just reuse them.